Hi, it's Joey, and today we're going to be watching Arcane, Season 1, Episode 7, The Boy Saviour. No idea what that title could mean. The ending of the last episode was insane. I'm just so excited to keep going with this show. I love it so much already. A reminder, as always, that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go. What is this? Firelights?
I'm not the one who walked us into not one, but two of Silco's traps. This isn't Silco.
No, and the first one wasn't a trap either.
Let me go! Bye! Bye!
Terrifying. Is that a leader? Who is it?
You look good for a dead girl.
Is it that little friend? His name I don't remember. Because I can't remember any of the other kids' names because my brain is mush. Yes, that was it. He's like a resistance. Whoa. Ooh, it's already in his arm.
That was a long time ago.
Memories are all she's had to live on as well.
I remember when you wouldn't stand up to me. I missed you, little man.
They both are a connection to a much better time.
This is Shimmer.
Everything one needs to survive a violent transition.
God.
Work on plans.
You aren't here about the plans, are you?
He's not, and I'm concerned.
Jace will understand.
Perhaps.
And even if he does, no one else will. Feeling a lot of emotions here, I see. This is also how I work out difficult feelings.
Hammerwork is such a delicate art.
Whoever built it knows exactly what they're doing. This and Shimmer. It's hard to believe what they're capable of.
Desperate people pushed to their extremes to survive and try and make things better for themselves, yeah.
Really bothering you? You can bring Hextech to the masses just like you've always dreamed.
It's just gonna go so wrong.
Or he's finally flipped.
I thought Powder killed her. Losing my mind. Or was she not dead? That's why I thought it was such a final farewell.
She'll come to you when she's ready.
She might do if she's desperate.
She was there for me,
She was.
not the enforcer.
If I could get this girl into an intensive therapy course, I'd be doing it. Sweetheart, your sister could care about another person and still love you. It wouldn't change. Wow, where is this? Like a haven?
Everyone here was an addict or a victim.
Oh, I love this so much.
They needed somewhere safe to start again.
I should have been there. For you.
It wasn't your fault.
That's a good way to drive.
She's still in there. I can reach her.
She is. Oh my goodness.
This is everyone we've lost.
We included both of
Price of our
them.
freedom.
Vi and
Some
Powder.
of it was enforcer. I'm sorry, but that's who she is now.
She does have a lot to atone for, but she's still so young. If there is a way for her to make it through this and try and undo some of the hurt she's caused, it's worth it. Because I initially thought they were just gonna, you know, put up a block, like a border search type thing, and it would be a bit bad given that they're all supposed to be citizens of the same place.
You ordered this?
Mm-hmm.
Why? There are people down there who seem hell-bent on destroying us.
And there are people down there who are just good and honest and trying to live their life. There are people up here who are hell-bent on destroying you too.
I told you, they're dangerous. I'm from the Undercity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I've had a lot on my plate.
That's an excuse.
Would you
Prejudice. This is not sustainable, and it's wrong, and you know it.
To have some trade than none at all.
Why is that stopped?
If you can't handle your own people,
You're gonna die if you're the one being the most vocal against him. Yep. The minute that fan stopped, you knew it was nothing good.
You don't recognize it. Too much time in the sun.
This is why you don't work for creepy criminals. And back goes the fan. Interesting that Silco wasn't affected.
It's too soon. Jace isn't ready.
Oh goodness. Ready for what? From her family?
Listen, let her go. I brought her here. It's me you want.
My hero.
But I thought they were hurting you.
She has been sat here worrying this whole time.
Can.
Can.
Back topside. That's it.
At least Vi's not alone down here. But she was so close to Jinx and so far.
Let me help you with that.
Where have you been, Jinx?
But you found out she came back.
And then you lied.
Not for you.
If she was in Stillwater,
Left you. Who found you?
stop manipulating her.
Cared for you. Everyone else betrays us.
Not true. You saw Vi. She came back for you. She fought beside you despite not knowing who was there and who was attacking.
More than ever.
Manipulative bastard.
Your people hunt us like animals. Silco pays them to do it.
That's not possible. You're wrong.
Think of everything you've seen since you're down here.
Echo. She believes what she's saying, okay? She's not your enemy.
Oh yeah?
If you do, this cycle of violence will never stop. This is our best shot at setting the record straight. This city needs healing.
It really does, and I just don't think it's gonna get it.
Please, I have a friend on the council.
Do you
Let me
still?
take the gemstone to him.
Way to utilize the gemstone. If we are to assume the worst, that would mean they've turned it into a weapon.
Well, do we know?
Who suggested this?
We can't afford to wait to find
You,
out.
so that they're trying to force Jason to acting faster.
Suggesting? You want us to build weapons? Absolutely not. That is not why we invented Hextech.
It's inevitable though, isn't it?
Attempt at peace.
Limiting as an action is what brought us here. You said so yourself. The peace is already
She's
broken, Jace.
fully
I'm only asking you to prepare to defend your people. If we're lucky, we'll
knows
never
the
need
strings to
use it.
pull. Jace.
You cannot be considering this.
Oh, he looks like he
What if she's
is.
right? Are we just
No one person should have this kind of power. Especially not in a supposed council. Oof. Sometimes you do just need your mum. Lots of people doing things they never thought they would. Just going for it. What on earth is this gonna do to him? I feel like we're creating a mighty good weapon right now.
I can't leave her again.
You can't change her.
I have to try.
She'll never live with herself if she doesn't.
For everything.
This is not a hug of two people who've been forced to work together. She's not leaving you, she's choosing to stay for you, but she's not in a mental state to interpret. Exactly. See, she's choosing you. Now don't attack them. Go and see your sister.
What the hell is this?
Of course.
Sir, I have proof. Silco's behind everything.
He knows my love. Though how can she do anything but trust her if it's everything that she's been raised to believe? Fucking hell. Please say that that didn't hit him someplace. She's going to protect someone from danger, my darling. She was going back for you otherwise. There was a gunshot. That's why she turned around. Why are all the firelights coming? Oh, they're not real. Jinx, she's choosing you. She's just not ignoring everybody else.
Oh my daughter.
Jesus. I feel for his kid, but I don't mourn him. Oh, she shot him. Very confused. She's not choosing you, but right now. One person needs you more. Fucking hell. Oh my god. This show is insane. I just want a world where they can all live together. Oh god. The history's always there between you, no matter how much you grow and change. Just please don't hurt each other. Does he have an actual time machine? Or is he just can see how things play out? This little girl he knew once. Fucking course. You're doing the right thing this time. Trying to save even more lives, including in the long run, making a world in which she could be saved. So there's no way that blew her up. Right? Okay, so I refuse to believe that that killed either Jinx or Echo. Seeing Echo again was excellent. I had been wondering what had happened to him, because obviously, like, he didn't die and we didn't see where he went or anything that happened to him. So I am so glad that we found out he was the head of the Firelights, and kind of he was both a resistance and just trying to continue the good work and trying to make a place where people could live and thrive and not be destroyed by Silco's rule and his shimmer and everything that comes with it. So I really loved seeing that and getting a sort of update on another character, and by finally finding a friendly face or someone that she could count on, someone that is doing good, hasn't totally lost themselves and changed in the time she's been forcibly away. I do, in general, I feel like, I know I said it a lot in the last episode, once I see how everything shakes out, whether that's the end of this season, whether that's the end of like season 10, however many seasons they make, who knows, I feel like I'm gonna need to do a rewatch to try and properly sort out where I feel with Powder, because the way they've done it is brilliant, but you never 100% know where any, I mean, you do with a lot of the characters, they have very in-depth and complex motivations, which I love, but with Powder, with Jinx even, you never 100% know what she's thinking, how she's acting. She never really knows 100% how she's thinking or how she's acting, so how the hell are we supposed to think that? I do believe that as things stand, Powder is in there, but there is also Jinx, who has been caused by a lot of hurt and pain and trauma that she's been through that she has never ever healed from, and that her relationship with her father figure became, let's keep pressing on that toxic wound so that it never heals and so that I keep you with me and you do what I want, because that way we're both suffering in these wounds we refuse to heal, rather than kind of trying to form some sort of healthy bond and replacing it or whatever. And for her, the fact that ultimately Vi walked across the bridge and left her may be her way of saying my sister chose that enforcer topsider over me, whereas someone who could sit back and think about it rationally would be like, when there was just a hop, skip and jump over a bridge, popping up to do something or other, Vi left. She said her goodbyes and she left. The only thing that she has left to go back to in the Undercity is her sister. Clearly she was going back to you, no matter what else no matter what friendship or romantic feelings might be brewing elsewhere, no matter what missions are going on or how important they are, you were the thing she came back for. You know, on that rooftop, she immediately fought at your side. There is no, and if you think about the things she said on the rooftop, she didn't deny that she was with the Enforcer, because she was, but she was like, no, that's my sister, no, I'm with you, I'm still, like, if Powder could, Jinx could take a step back, have her brain rationalise things, she would understand that her sister was there for her. But obviously this is Jinx, she is not very mentally healthy, and she still breaks my heart. You know, she is a character who has done a lot of things that even if I get what I want and she finds her way back to her sister and she finds her way back to trying to become more powder-like, she's going to have a lot of stuff to work through, and I don't view this as a world in which she could get therapy, and she's going to need it. She needs it. She's gone past needing it. But I do hope we see a world where she ultimately is able to work with Vi and maybe try and start earning back trust with people and trying to do the good in the world that she could do. I could also see it becoming where she becomes an even bigger villain on her own without anyone above her. But I worry about her. She currently breaks my heart, and I don't know where we're going to go with her. Because I feel like as they left things, I mean, she's not in a very good state right now. She seemed very unconscious, so she could be taken by the Firelight, she could be taken by Enforcers, she could be taken by Silco. I genuinely don't know what's next for her. Then you have Vi, and I truly think that regardless of everything she's seen, of the fact that Helice was firing on her, not only have these last few days been extra traumatic, but that final moment where she had to walk away, you know, Caitlyn's life was in danger, and they know that this this gem could cause God knows what other catastrophes to fall upon innocent people. They had to get it out of Silco's hands. They had to get it and try and say, look, it's not everyone down there. You can't like broad strokes say every single person in the Undercity is an evil criminal who wants to hurt us. It's not the case. And right there and then, Caitlyn's life was in more danger than Powder's, than anybody else's. She had to choose to walk away. But not only seeing her sister open fire on her, and also having, I think it will be eating away at her, this feeling that, am I making the same mistakes I did before? But at the end of the day, the mistakes she made before, she was a child who had been through an extraordinarily traumatic experience, the most, if not the second most, the best, but the most traumatic experience of her life. She stopped around the corner. You know, after what had just happened, if she had just been running and running and running and running and running, and then got like streets away and was like, how the hell do I get back there? Level of running away, you'd have understood it because she was a traumatized child. She was just out of sight. She would have cried herself out, screamed when she felt like she'd got things at least a little bit under control, as in she's not going to hit her sister again. She's not going to put that anger onto her sister because she hated herself for doing that. She would have walked back around the corner and found her. Instead, Silco came, and she got taken to prison, and everything happened. So for Vi as well, when you think about it, she's been, it's funny, in some ways she's had the easier time of the 10 years, in the sense that she wasn't seeing the world change. She wasn't being able to do anything about all the problems that were going on. But in reality, I feel like she's had the harder time of it, because I can definitely see someone like Echo. He kind of ended up on his own, trying to fend for himself, trying to figure it out, but he at least was able to find other people. She was in prison not knowing what was going on. It's not like when you're putting, you know, in the real world, even if you do 10 years in prison, or I don't know how many years it's been, a long while in prison, at the very least you get information about the outside world, whereas she just got snippets. I almost feel like, is that part of why she was beating up Silco's men to try and get information? But that was her small way of trying to get revenge. No one knew she was there. No one was ever, she never knew she was ever going to get out. She was clearly being like beaten regularly. I can't even imagine what she went through physically, emotionally, and just that feeling of not knowing, of thinking my sister is dead, but if she's not dead, she's suffering and she needs me. And then to be on this side of it and to see that my sister is alive, but she is warped into a person that is so far from the girl I knew, but there are still those glimpses, and to feel so powerless to do anything. And, you know, given the situation they're in, I honestly don't know how we get through to Powder, to Jinx. I mean, ideally, maybe she should go back to being called Powder, or just choose a whole new name with no bad connotations to it. It breaks my heart, and I can't even imagine what Vi's going to do. I did really like that while she and Caitlyn still have the, oh, it's all your fault, it's your fault, you didn't tell me this and you didn't tell me that. They have developed this bond. They really do care about each other. I think they can each see that while they come from drastically different places, the person that they're with truly means to do well. And when Caitlyn says her naive things about, oh no, it's not like that no, there's no way the enforcers could be being paid by Silco, oh there's no way, people want to do good, etc. I love that when Vi was like, no, she really does believe that. I think Caitlyn is still processing everything she's learned while she's been down here, culminating in her superior going to murder her and potentially murdering another innocent kid, although thankfully he had some good armor on, because he's got a corrupt deal with Silco. I mean, I think she's had a very rude awakening, and I do think that assuming they make it to Jace with no further hurdles, I worry in general, because Jace is going very far down a dark path. He ordered the blockades. He is considering making the weapons, and the fact that he phrased it to his mother as in, I think I'm going to have to do something I never thought I'd do. He's basically decided to do them. He's now just saying, oh, poor me, this goes against my conscience, rather than actually struggling with whether or not to do it. She's either going to be hand-delivering a tool that he can use, or he's going to... I worry that it's going to be too late, that she's going to be shocked when she finds that even the one guy she thought she could depend on is no longer the same as he always was. It's going to be even more of a rude awakening. I feel like for Vi in their partnership, the fact that there is a good enforcer is almost like, who knew? You win some things, there's one whole good enforcer. Whereas with Caitlin, she's kind of, as much as, like I said before, I think she truly did believe that, you know, she had a more worldly view of the world than most people were brought up in her way. She's learning just how much she still has to know. But I am glad they're doing it together, even if it is just, you know, Vi needs to just grab Powder somehow, lock her up someplace, lock themselves up together, and just talk. For maybe in like separate rooms so there can't be any physical contact. Just talk. Just get it all out there. Never gonna happen. I worry about how far Jace is losing himself. I worry about what the ultimate plan that Murderda has, because what is it, just making weapons so that they can then become, so they want Piltover to become like a military force in the world? Is it just to defend themselves? Is it to wipe out the Undercity so you don't have this embarrassing little poor people going on? It worries me in general, and seeing the way she knows just what strings to pull with Jace, but I do think she also does care about him, which is in kind of a conundrum there. I wonder what was in the letter that I presume was from her family as well. Then you have Victor, and whoa, he just went for it. I mean, he is a character who he is facing the end. He's dying, and I do understand making drastic choices that you haven't quite thought through when you feel like the alternative is death. But this could change him mentally. He could no longer be the same person. I am very terrified about what we're going to find when we next come across Victor, because he could be a monster now. He could be someone that's lost all empathy. He could be a super genius. He could be a superhero. He could be a super villain. And I really don't know where it's going to go, how they're going to take it, how anyone's going to take it. And him being from the Undercity, as much as he has lived in the top side for most of his life, he has got quite a distinguished career, even if it is a distinguished career in the shadows behind others. I do feel like there is a good chance other people are going to turn around and be a bit like, oh my god, that Undercity guy is now running around being super powered or whatever. It could be a disadvantage to him. And even Jace was like, oh, they were all evil down there, and he was like, I'm from down there. This show, it raises a lot of questions, and as with all shows, there are parallels that can be drawn to the real world. There are just such interesting concepts and thought exercises that it makes you go on. I am definitely in the middle of a CFS kind of flare-up, so my brain is not operating at its best. So I'm very sorry if this reaction has not been very good. I don't know. I worry when I feel like this. I worry that I then just do the most boring reactions. But I really did enjoy this episode. I'm stressed about where it's going to go. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance. And thank you so much for watching.